Welcome to episode 322 of the Whatnauts review show, where every week we pick a story and we talk about it. This could be a movie, a TV show, a comic, all kinds of genres, all types of mediums. We watch it, we read it, we listen to it, and then we come back here and talk about it. My name is Melissa Wilkinson, and I'm joined, as always, by Kyle Springer.
Melissa, what do you think your tell is? When you're playing a game of poker, you're in Vegas, winning big. Someone sits down next to you to challenge you. They're looking for your tells. What is your tell?
Just an outright look of panic. Nothing subtle. Just deep fear. Visible fear in the eyes.
Oh man, I think mine would either be something like tapping my foot or like something I do here on the podcast. I have my phone sitting right in front of me on my like big giant mouse pad that I have, and I spin it like a top. And it just spins and spins and spins, and I'm just sitting here the whole time doing that thing. And it's kind of a habit I've developed while podcasting. So I feel like something like that. I need something to do with my hands or tapping my foot.
You're not lying when you're here, though. You'd better not be lying.
Well, 322 episodes in, you haven't caught me yet, so...
Secretly, you hated Michael Clayton.
Right, yeah. Worst
it's all
movie
been a
ever.
Facade.
I can't even follow the plot. Anyways, this is gonna be a fun one. Melissa, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about seasons 1 and 2 of Poker Face, the throwback crime show on Peacock, executive produced by Rian Johnson, starring Natasha Lyonne as a woman who knows when you are lying. And that's all she has.
Yeah, in my experience, that's mostly all where I'm in. That they just inherently know. That's it. But yeah, this is one I've always heard good things about. Did not initially jump on to this show, kind of really only because it was on Peacock. There's not, in my opinion, not much to watch on Peacock. But I think you had checked it out last year, right? As it was going or something like that.
2 years ago, yeah.
You watched a little bit, and I recently finally also watched Russian Doll, and you were like, Kyle, we have to talk about Poker Face now. And so yeah, we started planning that. We weren't gonna do it earlier. But then realized what we had thought we were going to do. It just made more sense to wait till season 2 finished completely. And then we could cover all 2 seasons that are currently out. So where did you discover Poker Face? What made you want to check out this show?
Natasha Lyonne has a cameo in Glass Onion.
She does.
When Benoit Blanc is playing Among Us, sadly in the bathtub with his friends on Zoom, his friends are Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is best known as a basketball player, but is also a huge mystery nerd and writes mystery novels, Stephen Sondheim, the composer who also wrote the script for a mystery film called The Last of Sheila, which was a particular inspiration to Rian Johnson, and then Natasha Lyonne, which was the odd one out. And so when I saw this show, when I saw ads for it about to come out, I thought, oh, that's the missing piece I didn't have. That's why she was there. Yeah. So watching Poker Face felt like, it felt like doing a complete circle from that scene in Glass Onion. Right. And the show is captivating. It's captivating in how simple it is. And I describe it as a throwback, not because it takes place in the past, but because it feels exactly in the mode of a Columbo, perhaps a Murder, She Wrote, all these older mystery shows, cozy comfort food that we don't have anymore so much.
Yeah.
Law and Order is to some folks its own form of comfort food, but not in the same way this is. This thing just goes down smooth like a tall can of light beer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it has these sensibilities of these older shows. One that I often describe it as is also the Incredible Hulk, where
Yes.
we'll get to
the traveling
when we
hero.
get to, yeah, she's traveling around the country and always helping someone out or solving some mystery. But yeah, I ended up recommending this to my parents because of that stuff of like, hey,
Great
you guys
for
remember
parents.
these older shows? You guys might want to check this out. It is a new show, but feels like those old ones. And they're loving it so far. They also like all of the like guest appearances
Yes.
of all the actors that show up just for an episode. Yeah, this is a really fun one. I had a blast with these first two seasons. I don't remember off the top of my head if they have already renewed it for a third season. I'm assuming they will if they have not yet. Because I've been seeing people online who are just catching up with the finale, be like, man, this show continues to be one of the best that's out there right now. So we had a great time watching some murder mysteries and such here on Poker Face. Do you want to do a quick plot synopsis? You kind of mentioned the elevator pitch of what it is.
Charlie Cale has the ability to tell when you are lying. If you say a lie around her, she just instinctively says, bullshit. That's not true. She used to use this to win poker games until the head of this casino caught her, realized what she was doing, and like threw out of games for good, but liked her enough where he's like, I never want to see you play in a casino again, but I'll employ you in a casino. So she's just been this cocktail waitress living out in an RV in the desert for years. It's a simple life. She's happy enough. Then one of her coworkers is killed, and she indicts the big boss for it. And then the big boss's father, the even bigger boss, sets his goon on her. And so season 1 is her on the run. No phone, no cash, no resources, just her and her old muscle car, heading from little town to little town, doing odd jobs and stumbling across mysteries on the way. She's not purposefully a detective. She does not set out to do this. She's trying to live a normal life, but she has this ability, and what can she do? She has to stick up for the little guy. And it's largely mystery of the week. There's a little bit of an overarching story that goes through the first episode and the last episode of season 1. And then in season 2, they kind of move away from that to like, here's dedicated mini arcs. Here's like one thing that lasts for like 3 episodes, and then some odd ones, and then like one more thing that lasts for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But most of it is
like
just
something that happens or a character you meet in one episode is then like in the start of the next one. So it has a little bit more cohesion as it goes onwards. Yeah, I had a blast with this one. I think just to see Natasha Lyonne just kind of stumble and fumble around into these mysteries, the way she's just like, all right, okay, let's see what's happening over here, right?
She's just born for this. It is the most remarkable pairing of star and character I've seen on TV in a long time. There's never been a hero quite like Charlie Cale. She doesn't care about anything except making sure that the right thing gets done when wrongdoing has been revealed to her. She loves her light beer, her sunglasses, her big belt buckle. She's kind of dumb, but the show never makes fun of her. She's just like, look, I'm a simple lady. This is all I know.
Yeah, she's not dumb, but she's also like, yeah, like she's not the like intellectual, like academic type. She figured out she has this skill and went to use that instead. And now that she's on the run, she's just like, this is just all I know. Like I just know when someone is lying, and that's it.
She's not dumb compared to any normal TV character, but just compared to any other TV detective. Like she does not have skills. She does not have knowledge. All she has is the ability to tell if you're lying or not. That is it.
Yeah. And it's a good, fun one. We've been talking a lot about detective shows over on our Patreon exclusive, or our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club. It's been the year of the detective. And of course, we've brought up this idea that sometimes a lot of these detective shows are like, what if detective, but here's a gimmick, right? What if detective, but they're an expert in bones? What if detective, but they're a doctor? What if detective, but they know numbers, right? That's it.
What if numbers?
Yeah.
Never before had a show dared to ask, what if there are numbers?
But yeah, this fits in with a lot of that same stuff, but just in the way they're doing this show, it's not quite, I mean, it's not really a procedural. It's certainly not a police procedural, because she herself is not a cop. She is on the run from the mob, so there's elements of that in there, that she's trying to like hide who she is, or just wants to like lay low and not bother anyone, right? But then even the way she solves mysteries it's not necessarily your standard format, but still feels like it is. And yeah, there's some really funny, kind of cheesy moments in there. There's some good mysteries. There's some I was like, that's clever. I like that.
Yes.
And there's stuff that I'm like rolling my eyes at, like, oh my God, this is kind of stupid, but I love it.
I should say that the show is the format of a How Catch 'em, which is the opposite of a whodunit, where you, the audience, see from the very beginning what the crime is and who did the crime and why they did the crime and how. And the bulk of the episode is just watching the detective figure out who it is and how they catch them.
Right. And yeah, oftentimes you don't even see the character of Charlie Cale for 10, 15 minutes. And then
often
you learn
quite long, 20, 25.
Yeah, and then you learn how she factors in. And that is an interesting spin on all of this too.
Yeah,
so.
Because in every other show, you watch a murder and there's no question of, how does Columbo get involved with this? The answer is Columbo works for the police force and there's been a murder. But Charlie Cale is like, I work the skee ball machines at an arcade. I'm a waiter. I'm this, I'm that. And you learn, oh, she was doing this one little odd job that put her in the background of Act 1 secretly the whole time. And now Act 2 begins and I get to see where she was and what she knows.
Yeah, from her perspective. So I definitely recommend checking this out if you have not. It is a blast. It's an easy one to just kind of put on when you're when you need like a lunch break or to cool down at the end of the day. Surprisingly, this is one of the few shows that I would say don't binge it. Just put on a single episode and then wait another day or two and then put a new one on.
Watch it in whatever amount you need. I'm not a binger, but when season 1 came out, I had like a nasty sinus thing going on where there's so much pressure built up in your head that it's on your brain. And you're like, I'm dumb now. I'm dumber than I've ever been before. All the snot made me dumb. I'm too glassy. I can't focus on or do anything. And I just laid on the couch. I wasn't even sleepy. I was just like dull, unsharp. Right. Just laid there. Just watched just watched 3 or 4 poker faces. It was exactly what I needed. And there's not many shows nowadays, scripted narrative shows, that can be used for such a purpose of turn it on, look at it. This is just your day. This is just your sick day. You don't have to think too hard. She'll do the thinking for you. You're good. There's no big plot. There's no big themes. It's just a dumb murder that this lady will solve.
Put that on the back of the JPD box. It's just a dumb murder that this lady will solve.
Right. Like there's no... We do get into a serial killer towards the end of season 2. I'll say that much. Which is a fascinating turn. And I do like that the show gave itself such a long rope of other very, very small nickel and dime schemes before it got to something lengthier and more involved.
Yeah. There's certainly been some long games at play, and there might be even longer games at play. We don't know yet. So... good stuff with all of that. I think that's all I kind of have to say, spoiler free. Do you think we can go to housekeeping and then jump into spoilers after that? Or do you have any other kind of last things to say on that?
No, we insist upon it. It's worth the price of admission to your local Peacock.
Indeed. With that, we will be right back for some housekeeping. When we come back, we will dive into spoilers. So we'll be right back. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts, and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. All right, we are back. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Let me see. Let me pull my notes back up here and get everything situated. Let's see. Over on the Pilots Club, we released our episode on Burn Notice, which was like, what if detective, but also spy, right? That's a good one. We had a blast talking about that. And then coming up for this next month, we will be talking about, I believe it was a Hulu original show of the Hardy Boys. So lots of fun stuff coming up on the Pilots Club. And then over on the free version, we released our episode of Cable Girls for the Pilots Club. That's on the free feeds right now. And the honorary year of the detective entry coming up next month as well, when we will release our episode on Veronica Mars. So that'll be a fun one for you guys to check out.
What if detective but teen?
Right? Yeah. Same. Hardy Boys is What If Detective but boys.
What if detective but boys in two? What if brother detective?
Yeah.
We gotta find the detective show that has gone the deepest, put the most layers on it. What if detective but, and it's an equation of 6 things?
Right, yeah. Let's see. Right here on the review show, our previous episode was on Raising Arizona. It was our cage match, our annual 4th of July celebration in which we get to watch another movie starring our national treasure, Nicolas Cage. And Raising Arizona was a blast. That was a fun one to check out. So,
and a nice preamble to this. Driving through the desert.
Yeah, indeed. And then over on the Captain's Log, I've been hard at work editing our episode 300. Fingers crossed it should be out around the same time that this goes live. So if it is not yet, it might be like the day after or something like that. So keep an eye out on that. I got to go visit Melissa in person in St. Louis. That was a blast. She came out here to Oklahoma for episode 200, so I had to go out there and see her for episode 300, and it was awesome. We had a great time, so you get to hear all about our trip on that one. Let's see. I don't think we have anything at the moment for the reactor core, but I do want to put this on people's radar. Not next episode of the review show, but the one after that, we are going to be doing our summer reading. And I just got my copy of the book in. So this is Secret Identity by Alex Segura. And I have read I've listened to the audiobook of this one. It's also fantastic. Highly recommend it. But it is a murder mystery set in and amongst the early days of the comic book industry. It is set in a fictional publisher where they are one of the smaller ones, of course, compared to the big dogs like Marvel and DC. So you'll hear some names you recognize and stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to read this book once again and share it with Melissa. So
tell me if that physical book has elements in it that behoove me acquiring the physical book as opposed to an ebook format.
I don't.
You don't have to tell me now. This is for later.
Things is that there's like interstitials in between some of the chapters that are basically pages of the comic they are making in the book here. So you get to see that. I assume on most tablets you can do that, but if you have one of those like e-readers, it might not be able to have that on there. I'm not sure. The audio book does, like they have the person actually reading the book, and she does a fantastic job, and then those interstitials are more like an audio drama podcast where you get sound effects and stuff like that just for those quick interstitials. So I don't know. I think you should be fine if you have a tablet and just, download it that way. But
I sometimes a book just has a fun little doodle in the corner where the page number is, and you don't get that in a digital version. That's all. That's all I'm asking about. I don't want to miss out on a flip book opportunity. Can't do a flip book on a Kindle.
Right, man. Remember the those Captain Underpants books where you do the little thing and they jump up and down on that? Great stuff. So yeah, just wanted to put that on people's radar in case you guys wanted to go get the physical copy of the book, or check it out from your library or something like that. So cool. Well, that is it for housekeeping. So let's get into spoilers. All right.
Forgot we changed the sound.
Right, yeah.
It's alarming.
New sound, new little effect on screen, all of that good stuff.
So we should say, because you had never watched season 1, I made you watch both seasons for the first time all at once. I rewatched select episodes from season 1. I'm not made out of time. So I watched the first one, the last one, the one about the race cars, and the one
Yeah.
about the monster movie. The real highlights.
Sure. Yeah.
And then, of course, all of season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some great episodes for sure. Let's start off with the first one, because it even though like it's one of those weird things where you don't, when you're pitching this to someone, you don't necessarily want to tell them what happens, but you kind of need to spoil the entirety of the first episode to be like, and now she's on the run, and like all of this stuff. So yeah, the first mystery that we get takes place at the casino that she works at. And it's one of her friends that gets murdered, as well as the boyfriend of the friend too. And yeah, because of her proximity, Charlie Cale kind of notices something's up. It's like, hey, my friend hasn't called me back. She's not reporting into work. What's happening? And talking to some of the bosses is just like, oh, bullshit. That's not.
Yep.
You're lying to me. Something's up here. You know something. And yeah, she figures it out and figures out that it was basically like the security, like a right-hand man of the guy that owns the casino that did the murders. And by the end of it, what happens to Adrian Brody's character? Because he's
jumps
the guy
off
that runs the casino.
He jumps off of the building because he's scared of wrath of his dad, Ron Perlman. Yeah. Which is
that's right.
The funniest parent-child casting I've ever seen. Ron Perlman is beyond time, and I have no idea if he's actually old enough to be Adrian Brody's dad. And there's nothing if you came to Earth, you would not know that those two are the same species.
Yeah, he's scared of his dad, does not want the retribution for this murder that's probably gonna draw a bunch of unwanted attention, not only to the casino, but some of their maybe shadier dealings and stuff like that. So yeah, he jumps out the window super high up and kills himself. And as a result, yeah, this like fixer, the Michael Clayton, if you will, of the casino, is now trying to hunt down Charlie Cale as she goes on the run, as they're trying to frame this all on her, that she was the one that killed him and killed her friend, all of the stuff. And that's where our adventure begins. Which I think is a great place to start. I think that's a good hook.
Yes, it is a great pilot. It does operate kind of like a mini movie. That one pilot is enough to sustain you for quite a while. It's a hearty meal. And you said the adventure begins there. But this is a show that purposefully remains small enough to barely be called an adventure. And I really like that about it.
There's like maybe once throughout the first, in the course of the first season, there's maybe like a part like midway through where there's a connection back to like, okay, and the guy is chasing her and he's caught up. And you get like a scene or two in like 2 episodes midway in of like, oh, he's close behind, he's catching up. And then it's not until like the final episode that the overarching plot kind of comes back in to play.
Right. Benjamin Bratt comes to get her and does one of the best scenes in television I've seen in recent years, which is where he just monologues the lyrics to a Blues Traveler song at her like it's wisdom. And no, it's just The Runaround by Blues Traveler.
See, that's not a song I recognize, but I knew that they were doing that bit. I think they pointed out of like, is that that's a song, right? But yeah, he like that is the kind of person he is, which gets to the like the comedy of what is happening in this show here. There's murder left and right in this show, but even a character like this who is hunting her, right, is after her, when he gets this like personable moment, is just kind of a dork.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? He's a hitman. He's a fixer. And he's a dork.
Right. Nobody on the show is truly cool.
Right,
Nobody is that cool or that competent ever. Charlie Cale is extremely cool, but in this
in a dopey
lovable low-life kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like the fun uncle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you like the mom is like, I don't know if I want my kids hanging around you, but she's just like, all right, come on, kids, let's go have some fun and smoke a cigarette. And the mom's like,
just don't
please.
drink. Right, just don't drink that much beer and don't let the kids have a beer. I know you want to. Don't do it.
That's a light beer. Right.
Right. Charlie Cale is what if your lovable beer uncle was a small redheaded woman with a superpower.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, even if I can skip ahead real quick to the end of season 2 when we meet, I forget her name, but this character that basically has Alex. What's her name?
The iguana.
Yeah, Alex the iguana, that has the ability to lie to Charlie and get away with it, at least for a time.
Right, and hers is different. They never frame Charlie like she's a mutant, like she's an X-Men.
Yes.
There's no reason behind this. It's just the conceit of the show. What if somebody always knew if you were lying?
She's good enough to know people's tells. She knows how to read people, but not in the like way that some detective shows are like, ooh, I'm Sherlocking my way through this because of the dent on your finger, right? You used to have a ring, but you're not wearing it. Like it's not that.
She doesn't do logic.
Yeah,
it's just intuition. It's just instinct. And this is the sort of thing where we're never going to meet anybody else who has a power. There's one power in the show, it's hers, and it's very specific and like, don't ask questions. She just does it. And Alex does not have a power. Alex is just extremely skilled and knows that when you lie, you do have these physical tells. Everybody from detectives with polygraph machines. That's all a polygraph machine is. You saw Black Bag. You saw Michael Fassbender with the little machine. And then Marissa Abella can like clench her butt muscles and fool the machine. And he's like, I know you're clenching your butt muscles. Stop it. So Alex can just do that. She just has incredible control over her body to suffocate anything that may be a tell in that way.
Yeah.
And of course, that only relies on her concentration and her stamina. So it is possible for this to be fallible.
Yeah. And I forgot where I was going with all of that, but it's just it's an interesting thing that they do stuff like that, but wait so long, right? They're not like, and there's other people out there that can do things like this, right?
Right. This is not X-Men.
There's also oh God, why am I blanking on his name? The guy on the radio, 10-4.
Good buddy.
Yeah. What's that actor's name? I know his name.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, thank you. You guys know I'm terrible with names. I always forget it. I don't know what they're doing with that yet. If that's just the totality of what that bit is going to be, I would be okay with that. Or if this is some kind of long play into leading her somewhere else or something. I don't know. But I would kind of be okay either way.
Mhm.
But I think kind of what I was hoping to get at when I mentioned Alex is that the way they introduce her, because her as an actor, she's also goofy. Like, she's so expressive with her face that it's
Yes.
just incredible. I love it. But when you then learn that she is like the world's top assassin, you're just like, you roll your eyes. You're like, no, there's no way. But they make it cheesy on purpose in a way that's like, you know what? Fine. This is fun. I like this. This is awesome.
I am so did you recognize her, Patty Harrison? We just saw her in I Think You Should Leave. She's in a number of those sketches. She's the woman with the Garfield house.
Yep. Yeah. I did recognize her. I did not remember what I recognized her from, but yeah, I've seen her and stuff.
She has such an incredible face where she looks like a normal, beautiful woman, but she does have this expressiveness where then suddenly she can look like a ghoul. Like, there is something to the angles and the elasticity of her face. It's like when Jack Skellington gets scary. That's what she can do.
It's awesome.
And it is, but she's also so goofy while doing it. Yes, you're correct. She is so unique. I don't know of another performer that's got exactly her thing going on. I had to look her up on IMDb. Like, where did she come from? What else has she been in? She's had quite a career. And she was born on Halloween, which makes so much sense. That's why she has this power. It's why she can do what she does.
Incredible. But yeah, like that I think is one of the strengths of the show, is that they can take these kind of maybe crazier elements of the show and just make them cheesy on purpose, and it fits that much better because of it. Right, like, the show is not so serious that you have like the world's greatest assassin and this is like a world-ending threat, right? No, it's just like, yeah, you just kind of laugh at the situation. I'm like, this is silly. This is stupid. And I love it.
And that two-parter opens with the Justin Theroux killer going in and liquefying existing Justin Theroux. It gets so sci-fi for a minute.
Right,
and I don't know if you noticed that episode, the one with the wedding, was directed by Ty West from the X trilogy.
Nice. Okay. I did not catch that. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, that one, it technically even started in episode back. It's almost a three-parter because she shows up as just a side character in the neighborhood, and like is like her new gym buddy of like, hey, let's go work out. And there's a murder mystery at the gym, which also has a really funny appearance of Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan, which he's. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, and here he is like, my lovey-dovey wife, give me more of your breast milk. Amazing. It's just like, what?
Crying
what
and drinking a milk bottle. Very funny.
It's ridiculous. And
nobody gets out of this alive. Nobody gets to be cool. Least of all, Kumail Nanjiani pooping himself to death and then getting eaten by an alligator.
Just incredible stuff. Let's go back to season 1 here. You said you watched the race car one, and then you said there was one other one in there that you watched that was not the first or the last one, right?
It's called The Orpheus Syndrome. This is the one about the movie special effects. This might be my favorite in the whole series because this is the most specific niche setting that we go to. Do you know a lot about ILM?
I know it stands for Industrial Light Magic.
Good
but
job.
That's it.
On Disney Plus, there was a docu-series called Light and Magic about the history of ILM. And ILM, of course, never covered up any murders, so it's not that realistic.
That we know of.
But, right. Of course, maybe they're simply too good at covering up murders. Nick Nolte is just playing Phil Tippett. He's playing like an existing special effects wizard. And it's just, what if this guy from all of the DVD bonus features on Star Wars editions got wrapped up in a murder mystery?
Yeah. I mean, even with the Kumail Nanjiani one that you mentioned, it's like, what if that Tiger King guy was even more ridiculous and got wrapped up in a murder mystery? Another one, right? So I like that they do stuff like that, where there are these like not only recognizable archetypes of like, oh, and here's the guy that just wants to, focus on his business and run his little mortuary and or stuff like that, or they have these ones of like, you're hitting on a thing here, like you're pointing to something specific, which is fun. Which
is the joy of an episodic mystery of the week type of show. You can go to all of these different places, and the writers can take their own like pet interest and spin a whole episode that's really specifically insular to one world. And I like that the 2 episodes that Natasha Lyonne, I think, co-wrote and directed are the Orpheus Syndrome and that one with Giancarlo Esposito and Katie Holmes in the mortuary, both of which involve movies, the behind-the-scenes world of movies. Like, I like that she's using this world she's been in for decades and mining it for murder mystery of the week.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff. Interestingly enough, since I don't know enough about Industrial Light and Magic, that one kind of came and went for me.
Oh.
Not one of my favorites. One of my favorites from this first season was the barbecue.
Yes, I did not have time to rewatch that one, but I remember that one being very tight, very clever, and maybe the best joke in the entire series is that one of Charlie's gigs trying to make money while she's on the run is she's selling bootleg DVDs, and she goes to this like deep Texas like barbecue haven and goes to the master pit master who's dedicated his whole life to this, and he buys a DVD of Okja, watches it once, and decides to become a vegan and leave his whole life behind.
It's incredible. It's so dumb because like it's one of those things where the episode starts and he comes stumbling out his like RV right next to his big smoker and his big grill, and he's looking at this meat, and he falls to his knees crying, going, I'm a murderer. I'm a murderer. And then you see like, oh, he dropped something on his way there. Let's go see what that was. And it's like this bootleg Okja DVD. And it's just like, oh my God. It's so dumb. But that one was really neat to me because of the twist ending to that one. It has a bit of a twist where the way they kind of catch the guy that did the murderer, that did the murder, and his partner who was like helping him out, is that the local radio DJ is just incredible at impressions and he acts like he's some of the other characters to make them think one thing and do that. He helps like set up this stuff with I was about to call her Natasha Cale, but that's not it. Charlie Cale to solve this. And he also like saves the dog at the end here, which is like a one episode thing there. But yeah, just like that was a fun twist for me of like, it was the radio DJ that did this thing. I see. All right, Charlie, you're clever. I see what you did. You thought up a good plan here.
Charlie is, to put it very kindly, kind of a nobody. We love her, and
absolutely.
Right, and no shame if she's so happy living her life, drinking her beer in her cowboy boots, living in a little RV, and just working in a Reno casino. Not even Vegas, just Reno. She's kind of a nobody, and she solves mysteries in nobody communities and relies on even smaller nobodies to save the day.
Yeah.
You're never anywhere glamorous. Well, you're very rarely anywhere glamorous. I guess the mansion with all the Cynthia Rivos is pretty cool.
Sure,
but she's not. It's not like Columbo. Columbo was such a scrappy, rumpled, looks like he hasn't slept in 3 days kind of a guy going into these high class, high society. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I have a pool kind of settings. And there's that class conflict there. And no, it's just Charlie surrounded by other kinds of Charlies.
Or like if she does find herself in a scenario where she is surrounded by a higher society, she has taken a job that has put her in an outfit, right? Or some kind of uniform to help her fit in, right? Whether that be some kind of like cocktail waitress tuxedo thing or right, she's working at like a baseball stadium and has like a baseball outfit on, right? She's always at least somehow blended into her scenery and has become a part of her surroundings. She manages to stay fashionable in whatever scenario she's in, right?
She's so many looks.
Yeah, great outfits. Even when she's like touring with that like punk rock band and stuff like that, she just has this natural like sunglass hangover, ripped cut off jeans, but like goth fishnets on. The outfit just works, right?
Yes.
She never looks like she's out of place, and it's like you're not supposed to be here. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. What did you think of the racing one?
I watched it again because now you've made me into a race car person. We're Formula One fans.
Yep.
And I don't think either of us know much about American motorsports, but a race car is a race car. I like that episode is one where nobody actually gets murdered. Somebody gets injured, but there is hope there. And that's what a lot of the twist relies on. You thought you were murdering somebody. You weren't. They're still alive. And as soon as they wake up, they're going to tell us everything.
Yeah, I like when they do stuff like that, when there is a change in the crime. It's not a murder of the week, but it is like it was an almost one. It was an attempted one, right?
Yes.
Or this person stole something and is hiding it, right? I would like to see them do some more of that stuff of like what other crimes can she call bullshit on.
One of the best deviations from the usual episode is the one at the kids' private school where this little goody two-shoes girl who's the best at everything finds the one thing that she's not the best at.
Yeah, that was a great
which
one.
is she loses one spelling bee to one little boy, and then it's the school talent show, and he's going to do this little trick with his pet hamster, and she's like, I need to ruin that trick for him, and then I get all the gold stars and he doesn't. And she rigs it in a way that the hamster dies, and this poor little boy thinks he killed his hamster. And it's just about, that's like the strongest villain we've had in the whole series, and it's a 10-year-old girl.
I would like to see her come up against the iguana.
Right. She's the series finale, that little girl. Yeah. I love how the episode is shot where throughout the first act, act, throughout the extended cold open, it's shot like Muppet Babies style, where you don't see any adult faces. It's just the kids. And then the second act opens, and then you do get to see Charlie. You do get to see all of the guest actors, such as Numbers himself, David Krumholtz, and the great Margot Martindale.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
That was. I really enjoyed that.
And I think
too.
It's a great change of pace, and they picked like exactly the kind of mystery we want from that setting, where it's not too dark, but it is a little scandalous. Just a girl allowing a hamster to be killed.
Yeah.
So she can get gold stars.
For that one is in season 2, right? Is that
yes
correct? Yeah. What other ones from season 2 did you like?
I do love the first one with the 5 different Cynthia's Erivo. And the concept that all of them, the quintuplets, starred on a show called Kid Cop Nights that's about what if detective was a child and was at night?
Yeah.
And the only way they could film a show starring a kid entirely at night, they never fake the night. The night was always real. The only way they could do that with child labor laws was to hire quintuplets who would trade out constantly playing kid cop at night.
Which is kind of smart, to be honest.
Just the world building in that one. The fact that it relies on the most ridiculous premise you've ever heard, but it's something that has already happened in this world decades ago, and everyone's like, yeah, I know Kid Cop Nights. I love Kid Cop Nights. We all know this. We all watched Kid Cop Nights.
It's like I can't wait for like down the road in season 4 her to mention something like, I know the actor who was in Kid Cop Nights, right? And us to be like, we do, we've seen that one. It'd be fun.
I think she is her most romantic chemistry with the Cynthia Erivo in the Apple Orchard. I'm sad they didn't end up together. I also, speaking of romantic chemistry, I really like the one in the big box store.
Okay, yeah, that was a great one too. Not one that I was expecting. It's in. I liked the. An Indian place or a Chinese place that he was ordering the food from?
I think it's an Indian place.
I liked the girl that worked the counters that was like rooting for her. That was like, my thing is love stories. Like I am big into like the romance novels and all that stuff. Let me help you. Like I will hook you up. Because that also felt like just for this 1 second, Charlie Cale is not the one with the power. Like, right? Like she's not the one with the amazing ability. It's right. This other
she doesn't
person.
know this.
Yeah,
she doesn't know this world. She needs romance nerd Geraldine Viswanathan to help her out.
Yeah. Which was a good one. I think my favorite from season 2 was the con men one, the group of con men that they're trying to run these kind of the smaller cons. It's John Cho and I'm blanking on her name now too.
Melanie Linsky. Thank you.
Yeah, we just saw her in Yellow Jackets when we watched that not too long ago. Some phenomenal stuff from them, but I like that it's like a con on a con on a con. Again, kind of getting out of that formula of it's a murder of the week. Murder still happens, right? But it like because it's wrapped in this larger like this is a con that's happening here. This one had a suicide, not a murder, right? Because she ends up killing herself.
That's what they say happened. That Melanie Linsky did that off screen after she lost all the orphan money.
Right. Yeah. But anyways, Yeah, I really liked that one. I liked that there was one of the members of the team that is kind of the butt of the joke often, at least from the main person from John Cho's character. That's his name, right? I'm not mixing that up.
John Cho.
Okay. And that he is the one that walks away on top by the end of it. That you get to see that not only did he walk away just fine and happy, but he's there with his husband, and they have just this cute little relationship.
Right, which is early in the show, he makes a reference to, John Cho, the boss, never cares about any of us. He never asks me about Robin, and because it's a gender neutral name, you may be inclined to think, I've heard that more often as a woman's name. I guess he has a wife. And then it's such a throwaway line that you forget about it. And then you realize he's married to one of the other guys involved in the scheme. And that's Robin.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're just like,
good.
That's
Evergreen.
Awesome. Good for him. You know, that one was a lot of fun. And then, the like final arc as everything is happening is pretty crazy when the iguana steps in. I like that sometimes the guest star comes in to be a major player. Sometimes they are the one that gets murdered. Like it's not a set and you are the love interest every time, or right, they're always something new, or like however tangential to the crime they may be. There's always some guest star that's just like, this is fun. I like this. I also liked the one with Aquafina. The like
I like that one a lot. Yeah,
that one was great too. I like that.
I love Alia Shawkat, and that's such a great showcase for her. And you can see how everything you can see how it builds on Maybe Bluth from Arrested Development back in like 2002. This is just a higher, advanced, escalated version of sneaky little Maybe Bluth.
Yeah. Goodness. Anything else that I wanted to mention from season 2 before I talk about the end of this? Here's what we should mention. I think this was in season 1, the one at the old folks' home.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
That's also one of my favorites. But this is the like the one that I kind of briefly mentioned to you as like a couple weeks ago. That was like my idea for a Knives Out mystery needs to happen at an old folks home, and just get a bunch of older actors.
Right.
That
this was your pitch for Knives Out 3, all olds.
Yeah. And like this proves my point that it can be wacky and stupid and goofy and just a blast.
You know what we need to watch? There's a show on, I think, Netflix called A Man on the Inside, where somebody believes that, do you know the show?
I've seen the first trailer that came out, because it's the next show from the guy that made The Good Place, right?
I don't remember who created it, but it does star Ted Danson as a man who goes undercover into an old folks' home to expose if there is any mistreatment. But it is a sitcom, and I think it's fun and good.
On the... Oops, I can't spell. Inside. Who is the creator of this? Yep, Michael Schur.
We should watch this.
Yeah. But yeah, that got me really excited, because I was like, I knew it. That proves my point. And it's a Rian Johnson show. Right. Like, all of that stuff. But I liked that one. And I think that was the one. Was that the one that we got introduced to the FBI agent?
Yeah, Agent Luca. I like him. I think he's sweet. I like that he is grateful for Charlie. He's on Charlie's side. He can't reveal who she is or what she does, because it would endanger her or lead to nobody taking him seriously. but he does know that when he gets the credit for a mystery she helps to solve, because he can't give her the credit. He's like, I keep rising up the ranks because of you. And he's like, I do feel kind of bad. He's like, I know I've worked hard, but like, I don't know how to share this credit with you. I don't know how to give you some of this. He's like, all I can do is just help you out when you need help. And when you're really in the shit, just offer you a head start. I love that they both cry, but neither of them will admit that they're crying or hug or do anything about it. They're just both independently crying at each other.
Yeah. He's been a really fun character because he is, he's just this FBI agent that he's not an idiot, but he's just so bland and so normal.
Yeah.
That he's just like, he's not talented, if that makes sense, right? Like, he's not like the FBI agent star, the hunk that will like win her over, right? No, he's just a guy.
Yes.
And that's just so amazing. That's what he gets to be. And he too is just kind of fumbling his way up the ladder, or like fumbling his way through the FBI as a result of being in Charlie Cale's like gravitational pull, right? In her
they keep
orbit.
running into each other.
Yeah.
Even all across the country. This is a nation, I was going to say globe trotting, just nation trotting show. We've not yet crossed a border. I'd love to see Poker Face go international.
Yeah.
But
will she run into Hercule Poirot somewhere, right?
Maybe. I would love if she went to Europe and it's just Charlie Cale versus Poirots and Sherlocks all the live long day.
Yeah. She gets a job as like the person that holds the boom mic on a detective show, and she happens to be the one that solves it. That'd be fun. But yeah, because it's through him. Were you about to say something else about
something very dumb? So you can proceed.
Oh, sure. It's through him that we then kind of get a little more introduced to the people that are after Charlie Cale. We do get God, what's her name? Her character's name?
Rhea Perlman as
what's
Beatrix Hasp.
Hasp, that's it. Just a delightful little woman. Her character is married to Richard Kine's character, who's also just a blast in this show.
I love that she is the mob boss and he's married to her, and she's like, he knows I am a mob boss, but he doesn't know anything about what I do. Like, if I start talking about it, he's like, I'm not listening. I can't get involved in this.
Yeah.
If you talk around me, I won't even know what you're saying. I'm not paying attention. Don't ask me anything. And the FBI gets him and grills him, and they're like, this man truly knows nothing.
he wants no part of all the mafia mob stuff, but he's just in his little button-up shirts. Sometimes they're a little more Hawaiian shirts, and he likes to
his
bake.
Apron.
He likes to cook, right? He's just like, I'm gonna be the stay-at-home spouse to do all to her mob stuff, even though she's like half his size and like all of this stuff. It's great.
She's half everyone's size. She's Rhea Perlman.
Right. Yeah.
I love that the villain of season 1 is Ron Perlman. And they're like, how do we top this for season 2?
Rhea Perlman.
I know. Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
I think that's all. I don't think there's another Perlman to be in season 3. We ran out.
I don't know. You'll have to switch over to the Scars or something like that. You can go for 6 more seasons or whatever. Just delightful characters all around the fringes of this show. Beatrix Hasp did die at the end of this, so we won't get to see any more of her. Ron Perlman's character also got killed at the end of season 1, or at like the start of season 2, I think, right? I'm not sure where
maybe into season 1. I think Benjamin Bratt.
He's the one that shot.
I don't. Right? Is he dead, or did he get like an eye gout? What happened to Benjamin Bratt?
Oh, I totally forget now. Well, whatever happened, she kind of got clean of that initial hook, so he's no longer after her at the very least. So yeah, but I don't know. It just continues to be a delightful show. I can't wait to see what wacky stuff they do next time. next season.
Season 1. The setup makes sense. The payoff to the setup makes sense. The show is called Poker Face, gambling adjacent to mob stuff. Like, it's all part of one logical line. You're not seeing that the finale of season 2 is that she gets her own Joker. And it's the girl who's been her gym buddy and her shuck buddy, they call her, because they had the oyster shucking operation together. You're not expecting that it's her. Actually, I was expecting it was her, because I'd flipped through the just one sentence episode descriptions on Peacock through the end of season 2, just as I'm checking, like, how many episodes are there? How long are they? And the tagline for the final episode of season 2 is, Charlie questions everything she knows when she comes up against a serial killer. So as soon as Patty Harrison walks up with the 2 coffees, I'm like, that's her. It's her. And then she isn't. And then the episode before that, the one with the wedding, opens with just liquefying Justin Theroux. And I'm like, okay, all right. So this is the serial killer. It's somebody who stole Justin Theroux's face, and maybe she has to save Patty Harrison. So I love the twist that, no, it was, you were right. It was Patty Harrison the whole time. You think we brought her in to not be a serial killer? To not be this incredible assassin who like trekked 100 miles through the Arctic to kill a billionaire in his fortress alone and fight a bear, and she has the bear skin as a rug in her like ninja apartment, this cold, severe space where she does nothing but she's an agent. The agent gets her hitman jobs.
Like they've ventured into like the world of the mob, the world of like high end assassins. I kind of wonder what other thing they're gonna do. Can they go like low street level hitmen? Like, is that what they're gonna do? Some like underground fighting league kind of thing?
Is it possible to stumble upon a network of entirely goons? Like, goons who are all covering for a boss, but she uncovers that the boss isn't there? She's like, there is no boss. You're all goons. You're all like on the same level. Nobody's in charge of you. You can be free.
Everyone
I'd love
who's number 2. Who's number 1? I need to speak with number 1.
I would love only goons and no big bad. Nothing but little bads would be fun.
Or even, I'm thinking of, I'm not sure how this would fit, so this might be a stupid one, but like in the same way that Daredevil has Stick, like the person that trains him, or something. Can she meet a character like that like trains her in something?
Well, who's the most gravelly voiced woman you can name? Who is it? Kathleen Turner? Who's her mentor?
What's her? The woman from The Expanse. Sora something.
Was she in The Penguin?
Maybe for a little bit.
Was she Clancy Brown's wife in The Penguin? Shora Agdashlu? Is that who you're thinking of? That's perfect. You found her. Yes.
Yeah. Her voice is incredible.
Let's bring in Kathy Moriarty. It's a league of smoky-voiced women.
Oh, incredible stuff. Yeah,
I want 60 straight minutes of television hearing nothing but those voices.
Please. Please.
Please.
God, yeah. Stuff like that I think would be really fun, or like X Spies, like the world of X Spies, and like have like all
We
of
should
those
get her
women
involved in like
used to have been like 60s spy babes from old James Bond movies, and now they got that like real gravelly, smoky voice that's just super sexy.
we should get her involved with a small town political election. We haven't done one of those.
Sure, yeah.
It's the perfect spot for a crime fiasco to go down. We do have Good Buddy. She exits season 2 just hitchhiking across the country on a truck.
I was wondering if she was going to ask that guy, like, hey, I know someone in the trucking community. I'm cool too, right? But yeah, I don't know what they're up to with him yet. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what will happen down the road? Let me ask you this. What did you think about the kind of end of, not the like ending bit where she's driving off in that truck, but the what's the show? The car jumps off the thing.
They do a Thelma and Louise, and then it freezes, and it's like to be continued, and then it holds in the freeze, and it's like, we will continue now. Thank you for waiting.
Yeah. Like, what did you think of that whole sequence? Because
I thought that was fun.
It stops and it hangs on that image for a while, and then it rewinds and does an alternative ending kind of thing.
I don't think it's an alternative. I think it is. Like, okay, we had our fun. Here's our fun gimmick. Now let's show. It's like Clue.
Right, yes.
Now this is what really happened.
Right. Yeah. It's like either they both go off the edge and they all die together, but that's not really what's happening. So rewind it. Like, right. Yeah. What did you think of that? Because I thought that was an odd choice. I'm not against it, but I don't know how to feel about it, really.
It's ballsy. I like that it's ballsy. This is a show that is simple enough that it can hold up the weight of having fun and being kind of flashy like that. I think it was Natasha Lyonne who directed that final episode.
I believe so,
I've enjoyed her directorial work. She picks really interesting shots, interesting edits.
Yeah. I don't know, because like I don't want to get all like tinfoil hat of like, and now there's a multiverse, and right, she's gonna travel to the other. No, that's all stupid.
Although, you know what I would love, now that you've brought up time travel, of course you remember. I don't even have to ask you. The scene in Napoleon Dynamite where Kip orders a time machine through the mail.
Yeah, and it's just like it looks like a big old
it's a plunger. Yes, with wires. It has a dial on it labeled high and low. Like, this is time travel. High and low what? I want her to get involved in one of those mail order schemes for something truly that cheap. Like somebody trying to sell not even snake oil, like back of the comic book stuff.
Yeah. X-ray specs.
Stuff like that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
An all Sea Monkeys episode.
Right, yeah.
And again, this is the show that can sustain this. If they bring on one writer who's like, I'm obsessed with those obviously fake product ads from the back of old comic books, and I'm resurrecting this world, and I'm just going to drop Charlie into it, and I don't know, she'll solve a murder.
Melissa, I could write that. I could write that one. So in the back of these old comics, there used to be an ad.
That is it. Oh, I know him. I know what. Yes, I know this.
I probably mentioned this to you on a podcast, but Dim Mak, the Death Touch, and it was this martial artist that would teach you this fighting style, which it was Dim Mak, the Death Touch. It was like one punch and it could kill a man, and this guy I did a project on him in college and looked up his history. He supposedly won a bunch of death matches over in like China or something like that. I forget where. But he supposedly stole a shit ton of money and got away with it. And stuff like that. So I feel like they could do. What is
this guy's name?
They could do an episode inspired by that. Like some guy who runs a little martial arts thing who thinks he's bigger than he actually is, but maybe he is actually as skilled as he says he is, but no one's quite sure, right?
Yes,
he has
a
like
real
a pet
Rex
tiger.
Kwando.
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be good.
What was his name?
Oh God, I don't remember.
I know we did an episode of the Captain's Log about this guy in like deep COVID when we had nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find a thing on it where even just typing in dim mock, like who is. Go away, Google. Why are you doing this? Block my location. I don't want that.
This is going to drive me crazy now.
Right, yeah. Old comic ad. Let me see if I can.
Okay, well, you research this. I'll tell you the dumb thing I was going to say like 15 minutes ago.
Count Dante is his name.
How could we forget a name like Count Dante? We need a real Count Dante in here. That's true. Charlie v. Count Dante.
We really do. Let me see if I can pull up some images here on screen. This is exactly it. The world's deadliest fighting secrets can be yours. Black Dragon Fighting Society brings you the forbidden secrets of Dim Muck, the Death Touch.
Right. She's working at a dojo. She's like the floor mat cleaner at a dojo.
Yes.
She hears the guy talk. She hears Sensei Dante talk about his death touch. She says bullshit. Then she sees him kill a guy. And she's like, but hold on. Bullshit. Also, murder? And she says to determine he can't be for real. He can't be for real. But then how is this person dead, if not the death touch?
Yeah. Incredible.
Kyle, who should play what guest star is brought in to play Count Dante?
Ooh. Who would make a good Count Dante?
I haven't seen the man. I have not. You've told me about this. Let me Google him. Oh my God. Oh, I feel like I know who this should be.
Who are you thinking?
Jack Black could do that. Like a Nacho Libre style Jack Black could do that.
I feel like you need to have someone younger.
Someone, yes, yeah. You can't go back in time and you can't pull Jack Black out of Nacho Libre and put him in here.
Right. You don't want someone who's so super young that like them being like, and I've won 66 death fights in Southeast Asia, right?
He has to be our age.
Yeah, you have to be like mid-30s at the youngest, 50 at the oldest, right?
Oh, who was slightly older than us? Who was like on Snick when we were kids? Let's make Kenan Thompson do it. Let's get a Snick.
Interesting pick. Yeah. That'd be an interesting one. I mean, you can get. We're
gonna think about this all week. We have to do an addendum. You can get
the actor who does Peacemaker. That
John
wrestler.
Cena, sure.
John Cena. You could do something like that. I was even thinking of. Oh my God, my mind is not here today. I cannot remember anyone's name.
I shouldn't have asked you to do this. If you don't even know Steve Buscemi's name, I don't know who else's name you could even conjure.
I mean, I know his name. I know that's the actor. I just like. It's podcasting. It's like when I'm in the middle of recording, my mind just like the connection is like, and that's the guy. I can see him in my mind, but the name is just blank.
Who's good at wearing a stupid little mustache? That's why I went to Nacho Libre. I'm like, that's the kind of stash this guy has.
Or get like a Ralph Macchio. Right from the Karate Kid, right?
Do Ralph Macchio like plays the murder victim.
I don't know. Anyways, good stuff.
Oh, I think he's too old, but I saw another picture of this guy. He kind of looks like Jason Clarke. That would be so funny to see wimpy Jason Clarke. Jason Clarke, who's played like every dumb sleazy guy and like
okay, has the look.
He's
absolutely
never this guy. That would be okay. I like this.
He absolutely
starring
has
Jason Clarke,
the same face as Count Dante. Oh my god, yeah. Great. He's 56. He could play slightly younger. Yeah. Good. That's awesome.
What?
Anything else?
What I was going to say earlier, this is largely pointless. I just need to know if a single other person has this happen to them. Do you remember Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
I've heard the name. I don't think I've really seen much of what
do you remember what it was?
Kind of. No.
Oh, this was during like the 2008 writers' strike when the writers were on strike and TV couldn't be in production. So Joss Whedon and like his brother wrote, and I think the brother's partner as well, not just the two of them. They wrote this web series that came out in 3 15-minute chunks online. And it wasn't like, it's outside of TV and movies. It's writers' strike. It's exempt. You don't need the WGA to sign off on a web series in the year 2008. So they did Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which is about Dr. Horrible, a supervillain, and he has a blog. He has a vlog. It's videos. And he talks about his nemesis, Captain Hammer, played by Nathan Fillion. And there's a girl at the laundromat who he likes. And the whole thing's a musical. But Dr. Horrible's best friend is Simon Helberg, playing this guy named Moist. And he's like, all I can do is make things moist.
No.
I've never, like, this thing is 45 minutes in its totality. And Simon Helberg's not even a major character. That's always stuck with me. And every time I see him in anything, I'm like, it's Moist! Moist is here! I'm like, this man has had such a career. He probably has millions of dollars. He can't just be Moist to me anymore.
Well, too bad, because that's what he is now.
He's Moist forever.
Yeah.
I like the character of Luca quite a bit, though. Perhaps if Poker Face goes on to a long, successful run, I could point at him and say, look, there's Luca, and not look, there's Moist.
Good stuff. Cool. Well, should we get over to our bingo sheets here?
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay. Actually, I'm pulling mine up here on this screen. Fight in the rain? No. Did we get a flip phone? I feel like we've gotten a flip phone in this, but I don't.
That also feels accurate.
I don't remember one, so I'm not gonna count it, unfortunately for me. But yeah. Let's see. Did we get a Lost in the Crowd? No.
We do get, I don't think it's actually on any of our sheets this year, but we do get a good foe waiting in the shadows to talk.
Uh-huh.
We got is it crashing a fancy party if they are employed to work there as the shuckers?
No, but Justin Theroux is crashing a
Justin
fancy
Theroux
party.
is crashing a fancy party because he takes Justin Theroux's face. That's true. We have nosy neighbor.
Do we?
I think that's kind of how Alia Shawkat enters the episode with the rent control department.
But she's not a neighbor, though. She's not already living in the apartment
she's
next
at the
door.
bodega. She's in the neighborhood. Like, that's an episode. So it's not necessarily a neighbor. He is the landlord, but David Allen Greer is up in everybody's business.
Yeah. I mean, if you're fine giving that to me, I'll take it. Because you're not wrong. He is kind of nosy.
He must live there too.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I do think he lives in that building. So I think that one fits. That one works.
Did we have an answering machine?
I don't think. Well, and you didn't rewatch the barbecue one. I was gonna see. I think they are some missed calls, and that's some of the voice acting that the radio DJ does.
But is it an answering machine? This is different than a voicemail. Voicemails don't count.
Oh, okay.
It has to be a physical rewind the tape, beeping light answering machine.
Oh God, did we? Does she have one in like one of the places she lives at, like the early places?
I couldn't tell you. Didn't rewatch them all. I can get Puppet. Dang. There's puppets in the ILM episode.
I have one that I can get. Step scene. Hanging out on the steps, on the stoop
hanging out on
of
the
that
steps.
Apartment building, peeling potatoes. Right?
I thought that woman might have been the serial killer also. I'm like, that's the ultimate trick. To have the most unobtrusive 5-line little supporting character be. No, they're the mass murder. They're the big foe, the big bad. It's the potato woman. We've had poison, plenty of poison.
Did we get a tug of war resulting in a broken object?
I don't think so. I'm upset that in a show full of juicy guest stars, not once did we get Shea Wiggum.
Hey, season 3, right?
Yes.
He could still show up at the FBI as a government suit.
It's just one of his many suits. All he plays is suits.
Yeah.
He should play a guy selling suits.
You could certainly get the overprotective of their vehicle from the racing episode.
True. I was thinking of this more as just an everyday personal use vehicle and not a sport vehicle. I feel like if it's a sport vehicle, you may be appropriately protective of it.
Yeah. True. Tricking a concierge or valet. I feel like we almost had something
a lot of this sounds familiar.
That's the thing with this show is it covers so much ground that everything feels like, this is kind of believable, right? Like,
yes.
I would expect a giant check to show up in Poker Face. Like, this feels like the right kind of show for that, but we didn't get one, right? Or like a living statue, right? While she's in New York, right? Someone in the park.
Yes,
we don't have
right.
That.
There's a living statue, but the living statue is so good that nobody realizes they're a living statue. So a murder is committed, and Charlie, who always speaks to the little guy, she's the only one who knows you're a performer. You're not literally a statue. You saw that murder. You're an eyewitness.
Oh man, okay. I think that's about it. Wait, how sassy was Aquafina's grandma? Or that
Not
would you say
particularly.
she's sassy? I think Aquafina is the more sassy one.
Those two old ladies. I guess neither of them are grandmas, are they?
Not that I remember. I don't think they were, because they've been in that place for a while. Okay, I think that's it. We've got a couple of them there, so good on ya. Melissa, let's get into recommendations.
Yes.
For someone who enjoys Poker Face, what else might they enjoy?
On episode 244, we talked about Michael Clayton. It's a perfect movie.
Yeah. One that I do actually really enjoy. Not
no
like
tell
we joked
here.
about at the start. Yeah.
Columbo on our Patreon first show, The Pilots Club, where once a month, if you pay us $3, you get to listen to us talk about a random TV pilot from the past. This year is the year of the detective. We broke things off with Columbo, the godfather, the granddaddy of all TV detectives. You can listen to us talk about the pilot of Columbo and only the pilot of Columbo. But check out his larger works. Check out Murder, She Wrote. That's one we covered on Pilots Club, too.
Indeed.
The Mr. and Mrs. Smith show on Prime came out, I think, early last year on Prime, starring Donald Glover and Maya Erskine. I really like that. Have you checked that out yet?
I have, yeah.
That's also a feast for character actors. Also features a great Ron Perlman episode.
Yeah. I think they're working on more seasons, but I think they're getting different actors. Like I think.
Oh, what? I guess that makes sense. Like
Donald Glover
in this
and
world,
Maya Erskine are not going to be in the next one. Yeah.
In this world, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are code names for pairs of agents who are just assigned to work together and live as a couple.
Yeah.
It's not like the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie movie where they are spies and are sincerely married. And they're like, wait, you're a spy? This is like, oh, we are spies. We're assigned to work together. Hello, I'm your wife. Hello, I'm your husband. Let's go do spy stuff together. And then over the course of that season, they do fall for each other and start to explore, can we keep this going as a professional relationship and start this personal relationship? It is becoming a real couple going to ruin our cover of being a fictional couple. But in this world, there are multiple Mr. and Mrs. Smiths. So I really like those two, but I could see a season 2 pick up with a completely different pair of spies. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah. Interesting.
If you liked the Florida episode, specifically the one at the Flopacopa, the Florida Panhandle Cop Awards, watch The Good Place. There's a lot of good Florida content in that. We talked about all 4 seasons of The Good Place, starting with episode 252 of our podcast, where we talked about season 1. If you want more Vegas vibes, I know this show opens in Reno, but there's a movie called The Last Showgirl that came out earlier this year. You're nodding. You know this?
Yes, I went to go watch it in theaters.
Oh! Why did we not talk about this?
I think we did. But it was a while ago. Yeah, I went to go check it out with Rachel.
Fascinating.
She was interested in that one, starring Pamela Anderson.
Yes, a really lovely performance by Pamela Anderson. And Jamie Lee Curtis as her drunk gambling friend who gets up and dances on a table to Total eclipse of the heart in just the middle of her workday as a cocktail waitress.
Yeah.
She's just walking around, sets the tray down, gets up, does a deep, soulful total eclipse of the heart, picks her tray up again, keeps waitressing, and then later in the movie, she's like, I was fired. And we're like, I wonder why. But an interesting little thing, real slice of life, very light. I mean, it's sad, but it's sort of straightforward, simple. You're just hanging out with these people and everything is so pretty in that tacky Vegas way.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a very unique vibe to that movie that you don't see in many other things. And for that, I really appreciated it. Yeah, if we ever talked about this, we never wrote it down that we talked about it. I completely forgot you've seen this. You have seen Drive-Away Dolls?
I have. Yep.
Yep, I would recommend Drive-Away Dolls.
That's also a good
Have
one.
you seen Logan Lucky? I know I'm recommending it to the
not.
audience at large and not just specifically to you, Kyle.
But this is one that you have spoken about often, of just like, you really liked that one.
I really did like it. We should watch it. It is a great crime caper. And of course, it goes without saying, we recommend Knives Out. We recommend Glass Onion. We recommend Looper. Talk to the folks about Looper when it's your turn. If you want more Daniel Craig doing a weird Southern accent, you can turn to Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
This is, I think, really well written, really sharp, very sweet, very funny. One of the best, just all around heavy hitters of a film I've seen. Such a gem. Don't skip Logan Lucky. And finally, something that didn't click for me until we were talking here today. And I don't know why it never clicked. I'm like, this does feel like such a good cousin to Poker Face, even though it's not about murder mysteries. My Name is Earl.
Okay. I'm familiar with the show, but I've never watched it.
My Name is Earl is about a criminal lowlife named Earl who gets into a bad accident, and I think he's coming out of a coma and he hears the voice of Carson Daly on his hospital TV on the Carson Daly talk show to really put this in time in 2005. And he's talking about the concept of karma. And Earl's like, this is why this happened to me. This is why I got in this accident. I've led a terrible life. I've done terrible things. I need to fix my karma. So he's just this like dumb yokel who's developing a heart of gold. He's like, I have had bad intentions in my life, but no more. I'm changing things. And he writes a list of like, this is 100 bad things I've done that I have to set right. I have to fix. So every episode is like, what's the next thing on the list? I have to go down the list. He's like, I have to track down people like, this is a guy I bullied in 7th grade. I have to find him and make amends. And whatever he sets the terms, whatever he says counts as amends, I have to do. I need to fix my karma. So every episode kind of takes you somewhere new. You're in this town full of charming lowlives. It's a show that I remember. I've not seen it in a long time. I have no idea what the cultural legacy of My Name is Earl is.
Okay.
But okay. I remember it being surprisingly touching.
Cool. Good stuff. I'm going to take us back to episode 158 of the review show, in which we talked about The Kid Detective. Another kind of murder mystery show. I think this one is maybe has a more serious note to it, whereas Poker Face is much wackier, right? But I think there is a wacky premise in The Kid Detective in the sense that he was a kid detective like you have seen on cartoons and television shows and stuff like that. Now he's grown up and kind of is still trying to do the same thing, right? He's just kind of stuck there. So yeah, I would say go check that one out. Another thing that we have covered, let me see if I can find it here. This is, oh, come on. You're not gonna just. I typed in the word. There we go. To episode 219 of the review show, in which we covered The After Party, season 1.
Oh, I forgot to write this down, but yes. That's correct. The After Party.
We only covered season 1 for the podcast. I have since gone on to watch season 2. I think both seasons are fantastic. Looking like they might not do a season 3, though I think it absolutely deserved one. But yeah, this is a murder mystery where every episode of the first season is from another character's perspective. And there's like a different stylization to how they do the episode. So in the way that Poker Face is harkening back to a bunch of older television shows kind of at large, this one, like each episode might focus on like, oh, and we're gonna do one where everyone is puppets, or we're gonna do one where it's like a episode of Sherlock, or we're gonna do one where it's like an episode of Columbo or something like that. Season 2 gets into different film directors, so yes. Every episode is styled like a different director. They have a Wes Anderson episode, which is hilarious. That show is really funny too. It has that wackiness. Some great comedians in that show for sure.
Sam Richardson.
Yes, yeah. So go check that out. Of course, I'm also a big fan of Case Closed or Detective Conan. That I think would be fun. That also does tend to take on darker mysteries, despite it being an anime and kind of kid focused. There's some surprisingly spooky stuff in there. You know. But yeah, the that show tends to have mysteries that are just kind of, there's no way I would have solved that. But you're there to kind of watch the ridiculous, like, but what is the way that they murdered them here? Whereas Poker Face is obviously is just like, okay, but how is Charlie Cale involved here? Right. So, yeah, I'd say go check that stuff out. And those are my recommendations for this one.
Loop and Brick. Yes. Brick. I might have said Looper earlier by accident.
You did say Looper. Brick is
yes,
a great
Looper,
one, though, too.
But I meant Brick. Rian Johnson's Brick.
Rian Johnson did this movie completely set in like high school. It is a murder mystery. It is a mile a minute, hard-hitting crime noir. With a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it, and that's a great movie. I haven't watched it since I covered it on a podcast a long time ago, but I should rewatch that.
Yes, Kyle, you covered it on the original incarnation of the show, which was just called The Whatnauts. This was episode 17. You and your friend Paul discussed this in May of 2016.
Yeah, throwback.
Long ago. It's been too long since I've seen Brick also. We should do a Brick rewatch.
Indeed. Yeah.
Let's do Brick Month, where we watch Brick and then we watch the Lego Batman movie.
And then Brick by Brick. And then something about bricklayers. You know,
there's got to be a Prison Break movie. Logan Lucky's got bricks
Prison
in it.
Brick.
All Brick Month.
Yeah, those are my recommendations. Go check them out. But yeah, next up, here's what we're covering.
We do Brick Month, and it has to be bricks of different materials. I think the brick in the movie Brick is like drugs. It's like cocaine. Right, so we've got drug brick. We'll have gold brick. We'll have stone brick.
Some actor
we'll have Lego
named
brick.
Brick, right? So with the last name.
Right. The four elements. Only the Avatar can bring together the 4 bricks.
Only the bricketar. Anyways, let's see. For next episode, we are covering some comics. So the Superman movie recently came out, and the Fantastic Four movie is coming out this weekend. And so I was like, hey, why don't we do some comics that features some cool characters from the Superman movie that you maybe wanted to get to know more of? And so I suggested a book by the name of The Terrifics from DC Comics. The first 2 volumes of which are written by Jeff Lemire, art by Joe Prado and Ivan Reis. And these came out back in 2018. And it stars Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho, who are both in the new Superman movie. You also get Plastic Man and Phantom Girl, who I don't know much about. But essentially, this is DC Comics doing a riff on Fantastic Four here. It's not a one-to-one, and I think this book tends to skew maybe a little darker than like the bright and shiny Fantastic Four, or however bright my face looks with this all white screen blasting me here. But I've heard great things about this book. I've always wanted to check it out, and I've never gotten around to it. So here is the little description that is on the DC Comics website here. It says, bound together by fate, united by the spirit of exploration and hope for tomorrow, the Terrifics, bound from the dark multiverse of metal. When Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Plastic Man, and Phantom Girl find themselves literally bound together by a tragic accident, our team of unlikely allies rely on one another to make their way back home. But a startling revelation on their return trip brings them face to face with a new mystery. Where in the universe is Tom Strong? Another character I don't really know much about.
What? I'm shocked that there's obscure DC comic characters that you don't know.
There certainly is still, or ones I know who Plastic Man is. I've read very little of his stuff. Right.
We've never. Why have we been here 7 years and we've never talked Plastic Man? It's about time.
Plastic Man comics would I think also be a good recommendation if you liked Poker Face. There's some hard boiled crime, but he's kind of this like wacky detective.
I'll take your word for it.
Right? Yeah. Anyways, we are gonna read the first 2 volumes of the Terrifics. There are a total of 4 volumes. However, I think the total of them cover about 30 issues, which is why we are only doing the first 2, which covers about the first 12 issues, if I'm not mistaken. So a much more consumable, is that right? Digestible amount of comics here for our next episode. So yeah, that is what we shall be up to next time. You're on the podcast. Yeah. And then of course, like I said, the one after that, Secret Identity. Go check it out. Go check it out from your local library.
I will.
Yeah.
Meet me there.
Indeed. Good stuff. Let's wrap it up right there. Melissa, where can the people get in contact with you?
You can write me an email the old-fashioned way at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com. Give me your list of random character actors you would love to see do an episode of Poker Face in the future. You know who I loved seeing? Luis Guzman. We've never talked Guzman before on the show, and this won't be the last time we hear his name. I promise you. My campaign promise for 2025, more Luis Guzman. Thank you.
All right. Sounds great. I love it. Good stuff. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer. And if you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos right over there on that side of the screen. That would help us out a lot. And yeah, this has been number 322 of the Whatnauts review show. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.